Hi, everybody, and happy holidays, happy gift giving time. As I was sharing, October is Gratitude Month for Canada, whereas just for a week from now, it's going to be gratitude time for US of A. And so this fits right smack dab in the middle. And we are excited to show some wonderful gifts that you can be making to show gratitude to those special people in your life. So what we're going to do is we're going to make some salubrious bath salts. So what on earth is salubrious? And I was sharing with someone earlier when they were saying, how did you come up with that name? Well, I was, and still am, short, but when I was a little kid, I was extremely tiny. And so everybody took me for being like 5, 7 years younger than what I was. So my vocabulary had to be big, long words, because that's the only way people would understand that I wasn't a 4-year-old instead of an 11-year-old. And so salubrious just means just pretty spectacular word, isn't it? So healthy, health giving, and beneficial. So that's what we're going to be making tonight, because that's what we all need. As you probably know, sitting has become the new smoking, and lack of sleep has become right up there as well. So we all need help to relax. We all need help to turn off this, and we all need help to be able to just get into the zone and practice self-care. So this is going to be what we're going to be doing. Now, I did send an email out yesterday, and I had asked if you would print it out. I'm going to read some of it. I just thought it would be helpful if you had it in front of you. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to talk about, first of all, what is in the salubrious bath salt. So first thing that's in there is Epsom salts. And this is an exact 2-cup measure of Epsom salt. And you'll see that on your recipe. If not, never fear. We are recording this, and you will be able to play it at will. Yes, just thank you so much. I'm going to do that. Okay, so I am showing as, okay, Sandy, give me some clues here. I have somebody else showing as speaker, not me. So.
Barbara, could you please set your phone on speaker view only?
Okay, let's see. We have that on speaker view. Yeah, let's see. Okay, how's that? Am I coming through now? Yes, no? Yes? Okay, good. Okay. So with the Epsom salts, just in case you don't know what that all, why you'd want to have Epsom salts in there, is it has the magnesium connection. And so you'll be able to see on this handout that I sent you, Epsom salts contain magnesium, and that may help the body get rid of toxins. And they exacerbate inflammation, so that also plays into swelling, stiffness, and pain. Healthy magnesium levels can boost brain neurotransmitters that are responsible for inducing sleep and reducing stress. Magnesium also may promote melatonin, a sleep-inducing hormone. So that's important, like we were saying, that lack of sleep or going to sleep and waking up often is not going to be the best self-care. So we have 2 cups, and I have them put into a glass measuring cup. I didn't want to use plastic because I wanted to be able to, wanted to be able to showcase that glass is better in this case. We don't want to be losing any of the effects of the essential oils into going into the plastic, etc. So that's the first thing. The second thing that we're going to do is we are going to add some essential oils. And the first essential oil we're going to be adding is going to be lavender. And I'll just read a few sentences from our report here. Studies on mice have shown that these compounds have a sedative and pain-relieving effect. In humans, lavender also lowers the heart rate and reduces anxiety. The body systems that lavender supports are the skin, the circulatory, the nervous, the urinary, and the endocrine systems or hormonal systems. So that's all very good. So I'll show you how I do it. And I'm using a little shot glass, again, glass. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to demonstrate. I realize, you guys, I am most likely preaching to the choir. You have your own favorite essential oils, probably. Maybe you've been soaking in Epsom salts for eons. But there's a few things that I found out that maybe you don't know, so I'm going to share it with you. So the essential oils have this little plastic top, as you know. Now that hole in the middle is not where the oils come out. That actually allows the air to get in so that the oils will come out. But if you're able to look at it, it's not going to show up on the camera. There's a little tiny pinhole at the bottom there. I don't know if it will show up at all. But I know in the past when I tried to pour out Epsom salts, they would come out as a gush, or I couldn't count them or whatever. But if you have that hole at the bottom, then you've got success. So that's your little tool there. So I'm going to pour out 10 here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, I've got my lavender, and I can already start to smell it. We're all going to be so relaxed, you guys. So, wafting, yes. So I am going to pour that into the Epsom salt. So we're going to do that first. And just get that stirred up. Sorry, you can't see it all the way I can't have all levels apparently when you're 4'11" and shrinking. So you know about the lavender now. So next, what we're going to do is we're going to add pink grapefruit. And pink grapefruit, I'll read to you, suggests that using citrus oil may balance mood, decrease blood pressure, and relieve stress. So grapefruit essential oil has also antibacterial and antimicrobial properties that may help treat various conditions such as acne. Body systems supported are urinary, lymphatic, and digestive. So I started wondering, with both of those essential oils helping the urinary system, I wonder if people experience help with getting up at night. So I'll be curious to find out what people report back, because I think that would be very essential. So we're going to do exactly the same, 10 drops of pink grapefruit. And again, looking for the little hole, so it's at the bottom to help get that out and not a gush. So we'll do that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay. So lid on that. And we're going to add that to our Epsom salts as well. Oh, it's smelling good. Got it right under my nose. So if I get too limp, somebody will take over, right? You'll just, if I put my head down on the desk, you never know. Okay. Oh, it does smell good, you guys. Whew. Okay. Now, those three ingredients right now would be a good bath salts. That would be a nice bath salts that would help. But we're not going for good. As I put in the email, we are going for salubrious. We're going for great. And so we are going to add the difference maker. And many of you have experienced the difference maker already, but we are going to be adding 4 capsules of microhydrin that I'm going to open up and put into this wonderful aroma-filled jar. So why do we want to do that? So again, on your notes here, for any nutrient to do their job, they need to be delivered right to the cells. Well, microhydrin is an amazing delivery system. It also changes the surface tension of the water. So that means you want it to be similar to your body fluids. So better delivery in of the good stuff and an exit route of the toxins and metabolites to leave the body. So it enhances a better pH so it can offset acids. And probably many of you know of the slang or the little quote that is acids equal itises. So I just want to share a short story of me. Some years ago, before I was introduced to microhydrin, I would hop out of bed and I would literally be hopping because it was like I was stepping onto a 3-inch spike in my heel. And oh, painful. And so I went to the doctor. I was already lecturing at the time. And he said, well, he couldn't suggest anything. He said not surgery. He wasn't happy with that. But he said, you'll need to wear runners. Well, when you are lecturing, you don't wear runners. Well, maybe some do if they're a fitness trainer or whatever, but not when you're speaking in a ballroom. You don't wear runners. So that wasn't an option. And right after that, I was introduced to the microhydrin, and that disappeared. And I thought, there's the reason, was because all the metabolites and the toxins and the acids, the itises that were localized in my heel, call it whatever itis you want, they were able to evacuate. And the good stuff was able to come in. I have never had that problem since. It's gone. And so I truly believe that that's what our health is getting the good stuff in, but allowing the metabolites and the toxins to get out so that you can have health. So that's a little story about that. Microhydrin also enhances the electrical attraction to the cells. And that's your cellular communication and necessary for every physical action in the body. Microhydrin is also the king of recyclers. Wow, that is so powerful. So it is an antioxidant. You're probably familiar with vitamin C, E, selenium, etc. But this particular antioxidant is hydrogen ions. And they are so tiny, so like if you wanted to compare a vitamin C to a hydrogen ion, A vitamin C is a basketball in size. Hydrogen ion is a dot on that basketball. So that's why this capsule can be comparable to thousands of glasses of organic orange juice for what's in here. So if you want to have that kind of electrical communication in your body, wow, this is how you do it. And this is why it's the difference maker. So the other thing that it does is, and this is so key for us in our day and age right now, is hydrogen doesn't travel unless it carries along an oxygen buddy. And we're all familiar with all the respiratory stuff that's happening that we need extra boosting for. Well, hydrogen grabs onto an oxygen molecule and it'll take it to places that it wouldn't normally be able to get to, just because, again, of the size, that little pinpoint of size. So for me, when I was doing my training, I did a thesis for my herbalist designation on chronic fatigue and Epstein-Barr. And what it showed was that with that particular malady, you would have your microcirculation impaired. So I had actual pictures of brains where you hear a brain fog. Well, it's a real thing when the microcirculation isn't getting through. But I was so pleased. I was living in the Okanagan at the time, and my medical doctor asked for permission to use my thesis and give it out to his patients who had chronic fatigue, who had Epstein-Barr, who had fibromyalgia, because of all the info that I had put in that particular thesis. So you want to be well oxygenated and you want to have electrical conductivity. So here's the little magic 4 bullets that we're going to open up and we're going to put into our wonderful preparation here. So they're easy. You just can pull them right apart. If you were putting these in your smoothie, you don't even have to take them apart because it's a vegetable capsule. So then just open it up and pour it in there. And we are going to have, imagine what this is going to do for the smell. So if you're waiting for your orders to come in, not to worry, because like I say, we will be sending out the video. And I did a test video earlier, so even if this one conked out on us, we still have a backup plan, because that's how I roll. As my friends all know. So, okay, well, those are empty. Okay, so we're going to stir that up. And it's going to change the color a bit. It'll look a little more yellowish than white, you know? Oh, goodness, that smells good. Who else is smelling? Okay, who else? Put out your hand up. Who's smelling some good stuff up? Woo. Okay, and these, I'm excited to be making these gifts for 2 special ladies in my life, so that both will appreciate having a reason and a way to relax in a marvelous way. So, okay, so then what we're going to do is I have a 2-cup jar, and that's exactly how much Epsom salts there are in there. So what I've done is this is one I picked up from Home Hardware. And of course, wherever you're located, you can pick up whatever you like. It can be a canning jar or anything else. But this is, I just was drawn to this. I thought this was pretty cool. So I'm going to put this in here. For the short time that it's going to be in transit, I'm going to use a nice little, but I don't want to waste a crumb of this. And I don't want to have a faux pas in front of all you folks. So, then what we'll do, okay, got that started. Oh, okay, so that's going to be in the jar. There. Just move some of my apparatus around here. So next is the fun job of decorating that container. So this is where you get creative, however you want to be. And I'm going to give you some ideas of how to do that. I have some wonderful little squares of fabric that can go over the top, and then just tying elastic around it to hold it. And then of course, the whole thing with your jar, it's going to determine how you're going to decorate it with basically the lid. But I have got big ribbons, you know, with the wire in them. I got tiny ribbons, which would go great with this, which has a little bit of a Christmassy color to it. But just depending on what kind of top you've got. So for my daughter, she likes really basic. So I've got, you know, brown paper, which would also, then you could tie that with twine. You could put a few wonderful Christmas decorations on that. That's one option you can do. Another thing I've done is I found some really great little quotes on the internet, and I printed them out, and with thinking cheers, I've gone around the outside edge that says, I want to sleep, but my mind won't stop talking to itself. And isn't that the truth? So I'm going to use a glue gun, and I'm going to put that on the top lid of the jar, so that, because the one special gal, she has a real, you know, thinking brain, right? So I want her to be able to just decompress and do that. So that's one option. And then this is one that I did with my demo that I want to show you. And this is my finished project on my demo. So this is what I found that was interesting. If you have the jar with, you know, with the clasp, then the ribbon can be held in place just by going through there, which is kind of cool. And then with a little label on there and the Christmas decoration. I'm also going to use a Christmas sticker, but I'm going to use a Sharpie and have their name with their TLC on there, so that they'll be able to know that hands off to the other offspring that may be in the family, that this is mine, this is for me. And so that's another option there. Another great idea is our daughter-in-law makes the handmade cards, and making a card like this, when we send out the recording, we're hoping to send out a QR code that will have all of this text on it as well, that people will be able to have the instructions why they want to put that stuff in there. So that will be helpful for you to attach to your package. And I'm not just stopping with this as the gift. What I'm doing is I got the little gauze bags from the jewelry store, from the dollar store, the jewelry bag, and I'm going to put the microhydrin and the lavender, especially for sleeping, in there. And that's going to be also so they can make more batches. so that they'll be able to continue with the self-care. And just as a wonderful, you know, training, just again, we're all about helping people with self-care. And if we can do that, isn't that just so super awesome that we can do that? So just want to also highlight, sometimes people get a little intimidated that, oh my goodness, I'm not crafty. This isn't going to be easy for me. How am I going to manage? So what I have for you is a visual. And this visual is the big eraser for the big mistake. So it's hefty, but you don't have to worry, because the main thing is, I have to tell you, I was inspired this week. One of the gals, I was privileged to be helping fill over 100 boxes for the Christmas Child Shoebox Fund. And one of the gals I was working with, she was so diligent. She was so diligent with what she picked. We were hand stuffing empty boxes to be given to these children. And she was so present. She was so thoughtful with what she was doing. And afterwards, she told me, she said her husband had been a refugee. And as a child, he was given from the Red Cross just broken toys. And so as she was putting together these boxes that we were, doing as a team, she was so, her own love just went into that package. So don't worry if something doesn't look 150% the way you'd like it to look. It's the intention of what you're doing is what's going to be in that gift. So I hope you can think of some wonderful people that can be blessed with that. So that simple, pretty simple, right? It's not difficult to do, and just your own creativity can go to town with that. I am going to have a contest for the photos that come in. I'm going to have 3 prizes, and we're going to see, we're going to give everybody 10 days, because like I said, I know a lot of people with time slots couldn't attend here tonight in person, but they're waiting for the recording. So with that, I just think that's just going to be really, really fun and spectacular. But these people are going to really be blessed by what you do. So what I'd like to do now is I'm going to turn it back to the view of seeing all you folks too. And I want to, if you got some, okay. So, okay, well, maybe I should put it on, look at that. Wow. Good for you already. So, okay. So if you can put your hand up under reactions on the bottom of your screen, and then you can, it says raise hand, and then I'll know to call on you. And then we'll be able to find out what you're thinking, how you're going to decorate, or how many of you, with your show of hands, how many have you had a chance to get a jar yet? Because other people might be wondering, what kind of jar should I get? If you'd hold those up. Okay, great. That's wonderful. Lots of variety with that. And again, it's just all personal to what's going to happen. Oh, okay. Sorry, Sandy. Yes, tell us what you think.
Well, I went to the dollar store here in the United States, and I was able to get these gorgeous jars with lids that exactly fit 2 cups at the dollar store. And then I just had a little bit of tooling, and I just put a little bow around it, and I was ready to go. And it's only like about $4, Barb, is all it cost me to do this complete, even including the cost of the microhydrant. So I'm going to be giving this to my housekeeper and her helpers. I'm going to be giving it to different friends that might stop by to visit me or some of my good customers in this area as a little gift, because I'm able to put this together real simple, but very nice in a glass jar. And you know, that's one of the tips, Barb, is make sure that the container you put it in is glass, because the essential oils and the plastic doesn't like each other. And so that is what I've done, Barb. And I used a little gingham ribbon I had here, and another little one in pink, and they're all set and ready to go. And so when someone comes over, even though I may not have a card ready to go, I can send them home with a little homecoming gift to go home with.
Nice.
And of course, I can't wait until we can get the little code so that I can tell them if they ever want some more of this product, they can go here and get it. And of course, it opens the door for me to call them back and see if they were happy with their wonderful bath they had.
Well, what a nice way to celebrate the ones that serve us too, right? So that's wonderful. I know there was a question that came by. How much do you put in the bath? And I'm going to leave that up to you, because it's going to depend on your bathtub. It's going to depend. So many of us have got great big scoops from our protein powders, etc. But I'm seeing people are using from half a cup to 2 full cups in a bath. And again, depending on your achiness and what you're wanting to pull out of there, right? So by all means, yes, you can use all kinds of varieties of amount, but if you're stiff, sore, you've been out skiing, you've been out hiking, and you want the magnesium plus the essential oils and the microhydrin to pull out some achiness, wow, just go for it. And as far as the smells, are scents better for men or women? I don't think so. It's mostly what it's doing with your body system. So if you're relaxing is key, then lavender is a good place to start with that. So anybody else have any feedback they want to share? And this is on the recording. So by all means, we can help encourage the ones that couldn't make it live. But anybody else have any input? Permelia, hold up yours again so we can see, because hold up your jar.
It's actually Jane's jar. She did it.
Jar. Okay,
well, she did 2.
Job. Okay, made
she
2
did
already.
2.
Okay, great.
You see those?
Nice, great. Okay, so lots of creative things we can be doing with that. Do I see something in your hand, Sandita? Oh, you're muted. Oh, still muted. There you go.
Okay. I just did a few little things. I was waiting for the actual call tonight, but I'm going to do up several. And I just went and got, you had mentioned a canning jar earlier. So I'm going to use just a canning jar. I'm just going to put some of the Christmassy type material on there. And then I'm going to put some ribbon and some decor on that. And then for a few of the ones that I want to have extra special, I've got the bigger jars that I can, similar to yours with the nice clasp on it. So I'm going to do that. And then I think I shared earlier, but people might not have been on, for any of us who are really enjoying the Allier line, I'm going to use, I've got several of these empty jars. And so I just put little Christmas stickers on where the wording was, front and back, but I left the other nice little decor on there. And then same thing, I'm going to put ribbon around here and then maybe some little thing on the top just to make, and I think this probably holds maybe a cup. I haven't put anything in there yet, but so that's kind of what I'm going to do, varying mine up with different types of jars. And I've got all sorts of little doodads I'm going to put on there. And so I'm excited to try it out.
Wow. It's so fun. It's so fun. So that is marvelous. And I'll just read for the folks that registered at the last minute, they won't even have the recipe yet. So it's one batch, 2 cups Epsom salt, 4 capsules of microhydrin, that's the magic maker, 10 drops of lavender essential oil, 10 drops of pink grapefruit essential oil, or the alternative, if people just simply want to have 20 drops of lavender. So you can do it either way. But definitely that is cool. And I'm still getting more relaxed. So sorry, Phyllis, you got your hand up. Go for it.
I was thinking these were really affordable gifts to take for house guests when we're giving like a hostess gift. People don't want something lavish, but you always want to come with something in your hand. So this is affordable, something we can do and put on the shelf and have handy for any occasion. If we have to go to the hospital even to visit someone or their home. Very nice. I appreciate this time. It's very good. Thanks, Barb. I appreciate it so much.
Thanks for coming on. And you know, you just, it's 1 week to my American friends to Thanksgiving. So if you're going somewhere else, if they are hosting dinner, how about this as a thank you as you get to their home? So some really lovely, lovely ways of doing that. So I think I'm just going to stop the recording here and just hold on a moment. Thank you. And I'm just super blessed that you joined me here live tonight. I just know that there's going to be so many more people that are going to be encouraged and be able to do their self-care. And I wanted to input those little education tips as we went through, because I think if we know why we do something, why it's there, and the reasoning behind it, we're that much more inclined to follow through and do it on a routine basis.
Right.
I think one of my friends here tonight said one of the biggest failures of business is just being haphazard. And I think haphazard.
No.
So I'm just going to shut down the Zoom, and you can stay on as long as you like. So there we go.
Just really want to thank you, Barb, for taking the time and doing this. And it's